All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Real Talk video with your boy JT. I pray everybody is having a wonderful, blessed day as we, of course, give the Most High all the honor, the glory, and all the praise. My title now says secular music versus what they call gospel music now. Oh yeah, we got another hot topic, and shout out to Mr. Lance81. Great email you sent me a while back. First of all, what is gospel music? Really, what it is. Who determined that it was gospel music? And then you see so many different kinds, or some may say different styles. Because if you get a bunch of people in the room, old and new, and ask them what they think gospel music is, I guarantee you, you're going to get some different responses. If you look at my page, my brother, I have a whole lot of old videos on here of me teaching a lot of old school music, neo soul, R&B, you name it. Some people hate it, and some people love the fact that, you know, as a musician, I'm not religious, and I don't just listen at what people say and do what they do because they doing one thing and expect you to do another. You know, you have to get to the point where you get past people, and when you have your relationship with the Most High, it's personal, it's one-on-one. So it's about you and the Most High and what's pleasing to the Most High. And here's the problem with most people I know. They be trying to get people to do things that they doing because that's what they got to do, you know, to stay connected to the Most High, versus the people that they are dealing with on a lot of times. That wasn't even a downfall. Just like a person we could say, you know, that had a problem, you know, drinking, versus a person that didn't have a problem drinking. You know, they know how to, you know, have a glass of wine or a beer and stop, versus the one that get drunk. And it's just like him telling him that, hey man, I can't handle no drink, so you need to quit drinking. The Bible never said that it was a sin to drink. The sin was in the drunkenness. So we got a lot of people out here twisting scriptures, you know, just to make a point with that. People are taking scriptures and stopping right there, and then they want you to do what they do. Now, think about this. If I was to ask the question, what kind of music does the Most High love? How do you know he don't love jazz? Songs with no music, music with no lyrics, or love music, or if the Most High is the creator, he designed music, how do we really know if we have never sat side by side with the Most High on what really does the Most High like? If I was to ask everybody that, I know I'd get a bunch of different answers. If I was to say, do you think the Most High love jazz? What kind of jazz? Smooth jazz? You know, urban? All of these different names now. Does the Most High love ballads? Did the Most High love the type of music Earth, Wind, and Fire put out when they put out songs like Devotion or The Way of the World? You know, my point is, there's too many people out here acting like they know the Most High better than the Most High. Because if the Most High is the author of love, he designed husband and wife, and then you have music for husband and wife, you have music for the bedroom also. What is wrong with most people? You see my point? It's a time and a season for everything. I tell people all the time, my brother, it's the spirit behind music. And that's why most people never understand, because they don't look at the spirit. Now you got some music out here that people is making, oh yeah, straight up crazy and talking about sex and all that, promoting sin. Now if you want to stay listening at that, then you probably is going to act a certain way. But not everybody is talking about sex. That's why I love the majority of the older music. Yeah, some of them talked about sex too, but when you look at it in the long run, the music that's coming out now, you got to have a condom on just to listen to it. But even in the movies now, you got unbelievers, devilish people producing movies about the Most High. You have devils making gospel music. You have people in church faithfully on Sunday morning singing and shouting but living a wicked lifestyle. So when you start trying to judge what's gospel music, what's secular, what is secular? When you look at this in general, as individuals, everybody is different. Some people can listen at certain things, some people can't. Some people are married and they love ballads versus some people that's married and all they listen at is gospel music. It's just each to their own, you know. But once again, if our Father created music, created marriage, and then there's a book called Ecclesiastes chapter 3, once again, that teaches us there is a time and a season for everything under the heavens. Then I think Solomon knew what he was talking about. He also said it was nothing new under the sun. See, something about people, when you start talking about music, when you start talking about sex in the Bible, when you start talking about falling and sinning, a lot of people act like it don't happen. But it did. It always happened then, and it's happening now. When you look at where we at now, in these days' time, I'm going to put it to you like this. I don't know how many of y'all looking at this video have ever read the Song of Solomon. Yeah, you can look at that like, you know, Christ's love for the church, the godly love. But when you really get deep in Song of Solomon, I've taught that on here. You don't hear too many people come from that book. Why? Because there are some things off in the Song of Solomon that's very romantic, that's very sexual, that people want to skip over and act like it don't happen. When you get the Song of Solomon, there are parts in there where it's talking about what she tastes like, what she smell like, what she feel like. Very romantic. And folk act like it's something wrong with that book when that's all about love. See, if you married, what's wrong with it? See, there's a time that John P. Key songs and James Cleveland and all your favorite gospel music, there are going to be times where you got to cut that off. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to make love off no Father, I stretch my hands to thee. Now, for some of the religious people, hey, it may be good for them. Some people love making love to church music. Some people can't stand making love to church music, and I'm one of them. Then some people don't want no music at all. But my point is, who am I to tell you, do like me? I don't listen to no music. This is what people do. Do like me, brother. I threw all my secular music in the trash when I got saved in 1975. I don't listen to that stuff no more. We have to do for ourselves. Once again, everybody is different. See, spiritual people, most of the spiritual people I know, they love different types of music. They married. They can sit down at the restaurant with their wife and listen to some Ohio Players. They can listen to some Jeffrey Osborne, some Frankie Beverly and Mays. I'm a big Mays fan. Big Mays fan. Frankie Beverly and Mays, I'm Earth, Wind, and Fire. I love the 70s, the 80s. I mean, even the old rap, when you had the Sugar Hill Gang, when you had Curtis Blow, lyrics that they was just talking about having fun, just stuff you do on a daily basis. And so when you say secular, you putting everybody in that category that wasn't in nobody's church making no gospel song. If you're going to call everybody secular that's not doing gospel, that's a mistake. That's why secular is not in the Bible. You can go through the whole Bible and you will not find the word secular in there nowhere. See, I'm stepping on some toes with this video. But once again, you do what you do. But if we're going to tell the truth and rightly divide, tell the truth. If you threw all your secular music in the trash, hey, good for you. Mine is still over there. Over here on these CDs racks or in my phone. Still got some old records back there. Sometimes you'll catch people I'm talking about these ones that I don't listen at that stuff. You know, I'm religious. Brother, I threw that stuff. Sometimes you can sneak up on them and catch them in the room by themselves. They'll either be singing or dancing or rapping to that favorite song that they used to love so much. But they do it when ain't nobody looking. And when they get busted, they be like, oh man, you know, what you all ashamed for? See, there's a way to have good, clean fun. I do it all the time. I can go sit down at this restaurant, listen at the live band, have me a drink or two, fellowship over here. I wonder why Christ was invited to the sinners' parties. Was he sinning? No. I can go listen at that band right there, and I'm not about to go outside and go sleep with nobody. I'm going to go right back home. I'm going to be the same I was when I left. See, I can stay in the room by myself and get in trouble and lust and cut on the computer and look at pornography and get in trouble without even leaving the house. See, most folk I'm talking about like this, they always talking about music and secular and the world this and the world that. They the main ones at the house jacking off and looking at porn and masturbating. Fighting with sexual sins. While they pointing at, they listening at that music. Somebody gonna keep it real with me in this video. You can get in trouble without even leaving the house. You get in trouble right here. When you start looking at putting everybody in the category once again, that's, well, if they not gospel, then they secular. Says who? How do you know everybody? How do you know everybody's heart? Wouldn't it be something if you thought you was getting ready to walk in your room in heaven and then Ray Charles was in your spot? Or you thought you was gonna get that mansion right there and it was gonna come good to you, and then Barry White was sitting there saying, show you right. Or you thought you was gonna make it in, but then you saw Teddy Pendergrass over there. Well, JT, I heard he was gay, didn't he go to hell? You don't know who going where. I know who does. So the thing I'm trying to express also is that you got to quit trying to put people in your category. You making and it's not a righteous judgment. You being judgmental on people, especially if you talking about people who don't even go to church. You putting all that on them, but what you got when you go home and look in the mirror? All my life I heard I'm going to hell because I played a secular song. Well, JT, what you sang that at that wedding for, man? But you a minister of music, that ain't of God. No, it's not. I'm singing about love. Who named it gospel music? What determines that it's gospel music? Who said it was going to be called secular music? Who? What, when, and where, how? See, I always like to ask questions. Now check this out, because I heard so many religious people talking about this secular music. Y'all remember that old, to the ones that been following me a long time, y'all remember that old video I did called It's Cheaper to Go? Now, I called the video The Club and the Church is the Same, something like that. When you look at what people love to call secular, you look at those melodies. A lot of melodies are very catchy in the song. And the beat. Even without people lyrics a lot of times, most people hear they famous beat come on, they already on their feet. That's my jam right there. Without words. Now if you take a good look once again at what they call gospel now, it's the same thing. What you mean, JT? I just said the secular music that you call secular, it's got that catchy beat, that fast upbeat, or the melody. Look at the gospel music now. Same thing. That's why you always got somebody out front with a microphone pumping you up. Stand on your feet. Rock like me. Tag team somebody. Let's run around and play chase relay. Most churches have a club atmosphere now. Clubs and churches now, I ain't say all churches, or they looking so much alike. Think about the club and think about the church building. You got to pay to get in. You pay at the club. You're going to be entertained at the club. You're going to be entertained at the church. You got people out dressing people in the club. You got people out dressing people in the church, mostly in the pulpit. You got your favorite people going to be at the club. You got your favorite cliques inside of the church. The only difference between the church building and the club is that you come out cheaper going to the club. You know where your money going. Somebody will catch that later. They don't have no building fund in the club. It's already built. Some of these churches are taking up 5 offerings, including one in the parking lot. That's the only difference. Because the same ones you see at the club, 9 times out of 10 going to be right there Sunday morning, singing in the choir or playing in the corner or in the congregation. You come out cheaper at the club because when you get through paying for all your offerings in the church, and don't let it be no musical, then you got to buy the fish plates. 50 more cents you can get a soda water. And then you got the carrot cakes and the baked cookies and candy. And then don't forget about the car wash. Plus a 2-drink minimum on your Kool-Aid. Let me leave y'all alone. I'm messing with the folk. But real talk, this is what you look at. The purpose of music. The content of the lyrics. What style is it? Here is the question. Did the Most High Yah also intend for music to be smooth? To calm us down? Smooth into your soul? Just like laughter is good for us? But some people laughing at the wrong things. The reason why I'm saying it because King David used music for the purpose of worshiping the Most High. He was a true worshiper, and David was very skillful. But then that same David, when you look at the time when King Saul was put in place, Saul was being tormented by them evil spirits, so he would call David to come play the harp. Hey, David, these spirits got me again, man. Can you come play me some music, man? Come on, man. Come on over here. Question is, what kind of music was David playing? It didn't say that it was gospel music. It didn't say that it had words to it. It just simply said David played. Religious people skip over stuff like this. Well, if it ain't gospel music, it ain't God music. Once again, how do you know what really is the Most High's music? See, the Israelites used music also to do what? Warn people. They would always use the music as a warning when danger was coming. Now, what kind of music was that? How did it sound? We don't know. We wasn't there. What kind of music was it? We don't know. We wasn't there. So for me, as a teacher, to sit here and tell you that if it ain't gospel, it's secular, and they going to hell, I'm a false teacher. See, I'm like David. I'm a musician. I'm a producer. The most things I like playing at is weddings. And I tell you something, I don't play no gospel music at no wedding receptions. Most people that call me, they don't want to hear that. They leave the churchy with the churchy, and when it come time for the electric slide and slow dancing with their husband or wife, they don't want to hear that church stuff. And I'm all for it. Because there is a time and a season for that church music to just, boom, sit there to the side. That's why I say I love jazz. I love neo soul. I love beautiful music. Most of the music I listen to don't even have lyrics on it half of the time. I love that smooth jazz. I love listening to that Norman Brown, Bonnie James. I got a whole lot of favorites, y'all. I didn't even mean to start naming. Especially when it comes to the saxophone. Instrumentals that they do. Gerald Albright, dynamic. Take those songs like My, Johnny Gill, that Johnny Gill song. I play that at many weddings. What's wrong with it? You going home to your wife? Don't knock the next man because you don't like it. The next woman because you don't like it. It's so many scriptures. Maybe in another video, I'm going to gather those scriptures up and rightly divide. But for time's sake, it'll be too long in this video. I already spent too much of your time already. But it's so many scriptures in the Word. The Word is so powerful that it always show us balance. It show you good and it show you evil. It does. This is why so many religious people, their life is so boring because they make Yahshua out of something that Yahshua wasn't. They paint this picture of Yahshua being this religious, boring character. Bible don't teach that. Once again, he was invited to the sinners' parties. Now, I don't know about you. If you a sinner, if you go back to your old lifestyle, some of y'all still there in that lifestyle now, but remember how you was in your life of sin when there was a party. Everybody came. But to invite someone like Yahshua, who never sinned, never got drunk, never got high, never slept with women, didn't do no wrong, that showed me that man was fun to be around. He wasn't stuck up, he wasn't religious, and he wasn't judging them, worldly judging them, off of what they done. He let people come to him as they were. Why we don't do that? See, I'm talking what's real. The way our Savior deal with sinners versus the way people do now who are so religious, it don't even add up. He wanted you to come the way you was so he can straighten you out, so you can believe, so you can have faith, so once he hears you, you won't go back to that old person that you was. Y'all, what is the style now? Let's talk about this big problem. Because once again, you start talking about style of music, it's a whole lot. But Paul teaches us in the new agreement, the new covenant, to encourage one another with music. Then he says, speak to one another with psalms and hymns, spiritual songs. So we know for a fact that the Bible teaches us the purpose of music is for worship. But it also teaches you that music is allowed for other uses. Go back to David and Saul. Here's the problem once again now. Let's deal with this style of music. This is what causes people to fall out with each other. You can't play that. That don't sound godly. That don't sound holy. Where you get that from? That chord sound like a devil chord. How many of y'all been hearing that all your life as a musician? Some churches, once again, don't want no music at all. No instruments. And we know which churches those are. But here goes the thing with the style. Now it's more upbeat. And once you start letting one style override this next style, and then you got older people in the church and younger people in the church, the older people don't care too much for that new style. They was brought up on them old hymns, those psalms. They like those old 100s. So this make people fall out. That's why so many people saying that their style is the only right one. Mine is biblical, yours is not. And can't none of them point to it in the Bible. Just like many people say their religion is the only one that's right and not yours. See, if people can learn instead of looking at these differences as a personal thing, that's why you like what's cultural. When you start looking at the differences, if people could understand that what all that they talking about they style is right and well, this ain't biblical and that, if they could just hear you out for a little bit, that like they only style is the only one biblical. And since they think theirs, this is what I meant to say, since they think theirs is the only one biblical, they'll tell you that every other style is not right. And that is Satan's music. Thank you for correcting me, Holy Spirit. They'll tell you that's why God don't like gospel rap. God don't want to hear no Christian rap. No Christian rock. No this, no that. That's not even in the Bible. You are going to hell and la-da-da this and la-da-da that. But here's the problem with that. And I challenge anybody. Here's the problem with that. Nowhere in the Bible does it condemn a certain type of music. Come on, y'all. That's why you really don't know, once again, what the Most High loves. You ain't been that close with the Most High like that. But I can tell you who have. Satan, when he was right, Lucifer. He knows more than we know. Because he was that close at first. We sitting up here guessing. What if the Most High favorite song was The Way of the World by Earth, Wind, and Fire? That's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my life. That song right there is a prime example of you can't call that secular, because that same song, that same music in C sharp, those same changes is the same music that Joe Pace and the Colorado Mass Choir used to do that song called Be Glorified. There's an old brother by the name of DJ Rogers who did a song a long time ago. That same music that DJ Rogers used is the same music with just a little bit of difference in it that you hear from Hezekiah Walker and John P. Key on the song called I'll Make It. Do you know how many blues songs there was that they turned over into gospel? Or it could have been a gospel song that they turned over to blues. Who's to say the Most High don't like that kind of music, especially jazz? While too many people trying to put each other in hell behind a song, who really knows what the Most High like? We always talking about, oh, God is love, you know, but soon as some people hear a love song, oh, man, that ain't no godly song. Man sitting there singing to his wife. Once again, as a piano player, I love playing. And when I even get in my worship mode, right here in this room is where I spend most of my time one-on-one, I just play chords. Y'all remember that old video I did called Chords Up to Heaven? And them same chords I'm hitting in the R&B song is the same chords I'm hitting, throwing up to the Lord for worship with no lyrics on it. When things are done right, it's beautiful. And to some of my board players, y'all, the ones that's married, bless you, man. I know y'all be having fun. The ones who can sing and always having fun with your wife, she sings, man, glory to the Most High. I was messing with my buddy the other day, Chris. He played keys. He stays in Oklahoma. And he was telling me how he lit the room up with candles. He said, I got something for my wife tonight. She getting off, and I'm already have the food ready, the bath water ready. He said, I just want to do something special for her. She been working so hard. She don't even know what I'm. And he was sitting in the dark room, he said, playing Ribbons in the Sky. He said, I got the candles, her bath water. He said, and Stevie Wonder, that's his favorite song, Ribbons in the Sky. And he said, but when I get through playing Ribbons in the Sky, JT, you know what I'm going to play? I'm going to go to B flat. and I'm going to play sexual healing. He said, because now I'm going to need my sexual healing from my wife. And you know how many religious people would say he shouldn't be playing that. Man married with his wife, playing sexual healing, singing sexual healing and Rivers in the Sky to his wife, and somebody going to put him in the hell behind that. Try to, at least. I hate when they get to the point where people so holy, they are no earthly good at all. But if that's what you got to do in your life to keep you connected close to the Most High, you be holy and die as you can be. But don't put me in that category. I like to have fun. Good, clean fun. I heard people say that drums is not holy. Baby, drums is not in the Bible. That's why we don't have none in our church. That lead guitar, I didn't see that in the Bible either. Well, we don't have it in our church. Nowhere in the Bible does it say a certain instrument is ungodly. Well, I didn't see no drums in there, brother. But I see percussions in there. Have you ever read the book of Psalms? There go percussion instruments all in Psalms. So once again, how do you know what music or instrument is outside of the Most High's will when that wasn't even mentioned in the Word? The book of Psalms is where you get all your good stuff from. And here's something most people I know don't get. Just because something they call secular, it seems secular to them, that don't necessarily mean that it's an evil thing. People have sung about love, what they going through, how they felt. People done wrote poetry. So how is everything going to be evil? Maya Angelou wrote beautiful poetry. Langston Hughes wrote beautiful poetry. It's the heart that our Father looks at. Marvin Gaye wrote so many powerful songs. Sam Cooke wrote A Change Gonna Come. Marvin Gaye talked about inner city blues. Marvin Gaye talked about Mercy, Mercy Me, or what's going on, the war, this and that. And how many people say, well, that was an evil song, bro. I don't listen to that. I threw that in the trash too. Some of the stuff that you throwing in the trash got more messages in there than some of these Sunday morning songs you listening to in these churches that you calling gospel. Some of these blues singers had more heart than some of these ones that died who talking about they love the Lord so much and got all these CDs out. When you think about what I'm saying here, once again, there's a time and a season. There's a time and a season. There's a time to laugh. It's a time to cry. It's a time to listen, and it's a time to talk. But my thing is, if you're going to shoot down one thing, stop being a hypocrite. Don't play a part of none of it at all. If you hate secular music that much, but then pastor called and said, I'll pay you $200 to come do this wedding reception. I need you to sing me 4 songs. Ooh, I can't turn down that money. No, if you hate secular music that bad, turn down the money. If you hate the secular music that bad, stop going to the football and basketball games when the secular music come on. Stay your butt at home. Stop being a hypocrite. Stop watching the movies with the cussing in it. If you hate the music and the cussing that much, see, people don't like to keep it real. Stop going around your favorite cousin then. Well, I just something. Yeah, you picking and choosing, but then you pointing fingers. You know who done that? Pharisees. Pharisees. Well, but man, you don't understand, JT. That's $200, man. My life's about to get cut off. Yeah, but you said you don't like secular music. But they gonna pay me $200. Let me go learn this Luther Vandross song. Let me go learn that song by John Legend that they want to hear. I'll sing it just for that day. Hypocrites. In Romans chapter 14, verse 22, verse 23, Paul was showing us something about faith and passing judgment. even though he was talking about eating. He was saying the faith that you have, keep between yourself and the Most High. He said, blessed is the one who has no reason to pass judgment on himself for what he approves. Catch that. Pass judgment on himself for what he approves. But whoever, I'm going to say it again, but whoever has doubts is condemned if he eats, because the eating is not from faith. For whatever does not proceed from faith is sin. JT, what that got to do with anything? Just like you see people debating about the Sabbath. You don't supposed to go to church on Sunday. Saturday is the true day. You going to hell, you sinning, you ain't keeping the commandment. Out a lot of this, out a lot of that. Paul said, what you consider holy, the next man may not. Stop judging that man on how he worship. Stop judging that man on how he eat. Stop judging that sister over there on what music she listening to. See, Paul is saying if you have doubt then on that, then you might as well don't do it. I don't have no doubts with what I do, because I don't answer to y'all. Y'all don't answer to me. I tell people all the time, you threw all your music away and you so saved and sanctified, amen. But I didn't throw my music away, and I'm no further away than you are. Throwing your music away don't get you into heaven no quicker, nor any closer. If I was to listen at the religious people I had growing up, I would have threw a lot of stuff away. I wouldn't even play a piano because they told me that wasn't of the Bible. I don't have no doubts because I know what the words say. A man I knew once before, he's divorced now, but him and his wife got into it because his wife got to the point where the church building became more important than the home. She got to the point where she was so saved and so into the church that she wouldn't even dance with him no more. I'm talking about his wife. I don't do that no more. I'm different now. I'm holy than thou. I'm holy now. I'm holy than thou now. Yeah, that's what you is. The song that they very well got married on, she said, I just don't like that song no more. It's all about the gospel music now. You say, wait a minute, we barely even sleeping together. Then I can't dance with you. I can barely even sit at the table and eat dinner with you. Then we don't even listen to our favorite song. We can't watch no movie. We can't do nothing. Everything we're doing now is putting us in the hell. What in the world did I marry you for? You ain't the freak in the bedroom that you used to be no more. I got to pull out the right-hand fellowship because you ain't around. I'm trying not to commit adultery. They wound up getting divorced. He couldn't understand why she flipped like that. He said, all the things I loved about you, all the things we used to do, we can't do no more because now you so set apart, but you done got so set apart, you done got apart from me as your husband. Ooh, let the church say amen. See, some of this music need to be back in some of these husbands and wives' lives. Because everything, once again, is not evil. Not all secular music is glorified sin, if you want to call it secular. But once again, look at how many gospel songs are sounding just like the ones you calling secular. And half of the gospel songs now don't even mention Yahshua. 40 minutes is coming. So it's my time, y'all. I said I wasn't going to make this video longer than 40 minutes. And I'm right at 39:30, pretty much. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day.